Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to today's show. We are here once again, and I'm here with my friend Denise. Hi, Denise. How are you today?
Hi, good. How you doing, Sandra?
Perfect.
Good. Welcome, everyone. Whoever's on here.
Fix my glasses. What are you doing?
I had a okay. Um, yeah. Hi. So, welcome again. This is our fourth season of Senior Resources and Services live Facebook event, and we are just going to have some fun tonight and talk to two lovely ladies about love and dating after 55. Just thought it would fit in with our love and theme this season. And since it was Valentine's Day yesterday, so that's where we are. I don't know.
Where can they find you, Denise?
So yeah, if you want to find me, I am on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, anywhere you want to find me. Denise Lanzarone. I'm with Keller. We are both with Keller Williams Realty, and yeah, we're excited to have everyone join us and have a little fun tonight.
Remember, we're live on Denise's Facebook page, on my Facebook page. You find me as Sandra Roman Real Estate, and you find me everywhere Instagram and Facebook and YouTube as Sandra Roman Real Estate as well. And I can't say anything. Hi, Jean. Happy
Hi, Jean.
Valentine's. Welcome. So, we have special guests
So
today.
yes, so tonight we have two lovely ladies, as I said, with us. We have Joanne Grossi and our own Lily McCary, and they're going to talk to us a little bit about some of their experiences and their love after 55.
All the love expertise.
Yes.
Let's bring. Who are we bringing first? Lily, the more experienced one.
Yes, definitely. Thanks.
Hi, Lily. How are
Hi,
you?
how are you? Good evening, everyone.
And we have Miss Joanne. There we go.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
How you
So,
doing, Joanne?
Good, very good. Thank you.
where should we start? We start with Lily or with Joanne?
Doesn't matter. You want me to
Joanne, do you
start,
want to
Lily?
tell your story first? Go ahead.
You want me to
Let's
start? Okay.
start with Joanne.
Um, I am my dating. You would say, I honestly did not date a lot. What had happened was my husband passed away a little over 4 years ago,
But
and I have to say, my friend Lily. She's approached me a few times and she said to me, Joanne, if you want to get on a dating site, I'll help you, I'll write you. And I kept putting it off, putting it off. And I know a lot of people who have done that have been very successful with it. But it just so happened I rekindled a relationship with an old friend of mine, and it has grown into more than friendship. And I'm getting married June 23rd.
ooh,
So
well,
I
well,
can't.
Yay!
put a pin on the thought. First, tell us a little bit about you, how long
Okay.
you were married, and all that good business.
I was married 21 years. Um, I have two children. I have grandchildren. I own a Montessori school for 30 years. I started when I was 10. Um,
Yeah, of course.
and I love my job. I work every day. It keeps you young, keeps you moving.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I was telling Lily, my younger daughter has two kids, and she wasn't feeling so well, so I had to come to her house tonight. Life keeps going on. You keep
Yeah.
getting busy. I guess what I would say to anyone listening and anyone maybe getting discouraged, I don't, because you never know what life has in store for you. You never know who you're going to meet around the corner. And I just think it's important to be positive. It's important to be positive. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, because you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And now, Lily, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I had been a single mom for the last like 12 years. Was married for 22 years, and I wanted to be married forever. I wanted to have my kids around, the grandchildren around the Christmas tree with my husband, but he had other ideas, and life happens, like Joanne says. So we got divorced. We were very civil, took the high road, and I had 10 good years just dating. I was with me and my kids. I raised my kids. I have 4 beautiful daughters. 2 of them are nurses, and one is a teacher, and one is figuring it out. But they all have college degrees, and they're all self-sufficient young women. Very proud of them. So I would go on websites mostly to meet people. I don't have any horror stories. Look, I'm still alive. Okay, so I don't have any horror stories to tell you. Basically, what I could tell you is that when you do go on a website, like don't go on Plenty of Fish. It's horrible. Go on like Match or Zeus or a nicer one that you pay for. But basically, I would go on a website and we would connect and text a little bit. Then there would be a phone call. There would always be a phone call. One time I went on a date without the phone call. It was bad. We couldn't have a conversation together. So don't do that. So basically, we would text, and then sometimes I would say, "I'll have your phone number," because then I have a app on my phone called Haya. So in this app, I put their phone number in, and I can find out what their real name is and find out some background information before I even went to meet this person. Sometimes I didn't even meet them because I would find out that they lied about their age, which I hate that because I don't lie about anything online. I don't lie about my age. I don't filter out my pictures. I don't lie about really anything. That's it. So I don't like liars. And I think the worst way to begin a relationship is with a liar. So I would find out some information about them on my app. I would Google their names, try to find out if things matched up, where they said where they lived and things like that. You have to be careful in this day and age. So sometimes I wouldn't even meet them because they lied. And so what happened is I've been in a couple of long-term relationships. One was for 3 years, one was 4 years. No horror stories. So about 3 years ago, during COVID, I'm a little crazy. During COVID, it was April of 2020. My husband and I texted each other on that Zeus dating app, and we had our first phone call the next day, and we had such a wonderful phone call. It felt like we just had eye to eye on so many things. First, it was going to be at the Sunken Meadow Beach on a Sunday. But what happened is he called me Saturday morning. He goes, "I really, really want to meet you. I'm very excited to meet you. Can you come over for dinner on Saturday?" And I said, "I do not go to men's homes on their first dates." But again, this was during COVID. There was no restaurants. And he said, "Look, he lived a mile away from me." So he said, "Give your daughter my name, my address," which I did. And I met him on Saturday night at his apartment. It was immaculate. He was just newly divorced, maybe about 7 months ago. He made a beautiful dinner. He actually burned a little bit, but it was okay. But we just talked. It was like I walked in. He showed me around his apartment. It was spick and span. The bathroom was Cloroxed and Tilex. Very impressed. And I started making a salad, and we just felt like we just knew each other. It was so strange. Afterwards, we just sat on the couch, watched a movie together, and then I went home. And the next day, we went to the beach, and wow, things really heated up then because we spent 6 hours on the beach with a bottle of wine and some cheese and crackers. After that, he said that I knew more about him than his wife of 33 years did. He told me things that he had never told anyone at all, and I did the same, of course. The third date was interesting. The third date, I made dinner for him at his apartment. And then on that date, he said to me, "A year from now, I'll be telling people how I fell in love with you on our third date." And I told him the same. And I really did feel like I loved him. And there was no physical activity. We actually waited for that because I'm a little old fashioned. And it was really nice to really fall in love with someone for their personality, but rather than hormones like teenagers, But so 7 months later, we got engaged. And 8 months after that, we got married. So we got married in September of 2021, meeting April of 2020. And now we have a beautiful home. We bought a beautiful home together 2 years ago, actually. We bought a home a year after we met. Crazy, right? And we love it. We're in Smithtown, and things are good. My daughters like him very much. His kids love me. Life has been really good. So what I wanted to say is, sometimes it's nice, like Joanne did it, is to somebody that you knew in your past or from high school or past job. But sometimes it's not that easy. So if you do have to use a dating app, just be careful. Make sure you get their names and phone numbers, talk to them before you meet them. Never go to their house, not with me, on a first date, meet them in a public place. And first dates, usually I like to eat coffee is fine or a cocktail is fine. Do not do dinner, because one time I did dinner and the first 30 seconds that I met him, I'm like, no. So I had to sit there for 2.5 hours having dinner and dessert with somebody that I had no interest in. And I really felt bad because I'm not one of these women like buy me a dinner. There's women out there and I've met them. They go to the bars, they're looking for men to buy them drinks and buy them dinner. I'm not like that. It's like, I don't want to feel obligated to someone like that. So don't do dinner on a first date, because they might sound great on the phone, but you might not have the physical chemistry when you meet them. Um, so that's what I would say.
Lily,
And after
put
that,
a pin on that thought.
what?
Put a pin on the thought.
Go ahead.
Let's go rewind a little bit back, because
Yes.
everybody went super ahead. What happens when you are a certain age and the husband passes away or you get divorced? How do you feel?
You
What
feel
is
like
the
shit. You
feeling?
feel horrible, and you can't date right away. You need time to heal. You know,
Right.
you just can't, because I tried prematurely after my divorce. I tried to date before I was really over it, and it didn't work. So, like Joanne said,
Right.
surround yourself with friends, family, activities. Do the
Right.
things you love to do. I went to the gym every day. I went to tennis. So do the things that you love. Maybe you might meet somebody from there. Maybe, like I go to tennis now, and there's a lot of, older men over there that are single. It's like, wow, that's a thought. But anyway, do the things that you love. Surround yourself with your friends, your family, and heal. I read a lot of books. I'm a big reader. I read a lot of articles about moving forward and getting over, divorce. And so give yourself time to heal and be good to yourself, and don't jump in it too prematurely, because it's not going to work out. And also, Danny, when I first met him, I says, you just got divorced, 8 months ago. You just moved out of your house. I said, no. I said, you're too soon for me. You need to spend more time. Well, then he gave me his whole repertoire of how he dated 7 women and all the crazies he met. And I met with him because I originally felt like he was too soon to be dating someone, because he was just out of his house like maybe 6 months. But it worked out. So make sure that both of you are ready to date.
What about you, Joanne? What was your experience when he passed
Well,
away?
when my husband passed away, and like I said, he was very, very sick. He was bedridden for months before he passed away. He was in a coma for a while before he passed away. And it was very
So
difficult
sad.
because obviously, I loved him. I loved him so much, but it wasn't the man I married anymore. It wasn't the man I married for over a year. Um, and after he passed away, it was just, I was numb for a long time, and you can't even think about anybody else. You just wouldn't. And to be very honest with you, he was gone over 3 years before I even started to talk to John. And I have to agree with Lily. I mean, even though I knew John from 45 years ago, and we
Wow.
were always friends. Like, he was friends with my husband and everybody, we were all friends. And I talked to him on the phone. It was originally once every few days, then it was every day. And then one time we were on the phone for over 6 hours, just
Wow. That was like
talking.
my beach date.
Yeah. So you have to get, no matter what, you have to give yourself time, and you have to know you're ready. And the funny thing is, you will know when you're ready. You will,
Mhm.
because
How do you know?
you'll be open to it then. Do you know what I'm saying? You would be open to it. Like, I wasn't open to it before.
Did you have those feelings like sometimes? Well, this in this show we have only ladies, so
Right.
we cannot talk about the other side. But usually, ladies, when we hit certain age, we think, "Oh, it's over. Oh, I'm too old, or I'm not pretty enough." Did you get those feelings?
Who, me? I
Oh,
never got those feelings. I'm like, they're lucky to have me.
yeah, that's
Right.
right, Lily.
Joanne,
What
I
That's
about
right.
you,
remember. I
Joanne?
remember when your husband passed away. You were very, we sad for a while, but then after couple of years, you were telling me that you were lonely, and you
Yes,
were ready to find a partner to do things with, and do things with, go on vacation, go out to
right,
dinner, because you start feeling that lonely. You want a
right,
companion, and I like that too. I believe that you are better off being alone than being with the wrong person. So I took my
exactly.
time. And like I said, I
Right,
didn't have any horror stories. Nothing happened. I met some great people along the way, but you have to make sure that they're a good fit for you, for your family, and be careful. That's all.
We have some
So-
comments here.
So Sue
Miss
said
Denise.
that she met her boyfriend on Plenty of Fish.
Oh,
Did you ever hear that site?
yeah. That's not my favorite site because it's a free site. So there's a lot of scammers on there too. You have to be careful. But like I said, if you meet them soon after, it's fine. After you make contact, meet them. Like some guys, I think there were like some married men. They just wanted to like text me forever, or they wanted to do like sexting. And I'm like, I'm not looking for this. I'm looking for a relationship. So that's it. So my thing is that I would always want to meet them like within a week to make sure that they were real and that I was attracted to them, because I'm a busy lady. I'm a real estate agent too. And I had 4 daughters. I didn't have time for these games. So that's why I always felt it was a good idea to meet them soon after you made a connection.
Yeah, their first date was at a pizza place, and she's still with him. So
Oh, that's nice. That's great,
Yep.
Sue. Oh, that's right. I met him.
yeah,
Maybe we need to bring Susan over.
Yeah, why isn't she part of this, Sue?
Hold on. Let me start an invite. Hold on. Hold on. Susan, go to the chat. There's a link. Copy it and come over. Yeah. So
said-
what happens? Like, for example, what did you find? What was the most difficult thing that you found?
She said no, thank you.
Oh, come on. Well, send you your comments. We're going to be reading.
Yeah, we'll read your comments.
Yeah.
I think the most difficult thing was letting yourself be open to it.
Okay.
Letting yourself be open to it.
To the
You ha-
idea in your
Right. To the
The
idea of dating, to the idea of having someone else in your life. Because like in my case, I was alone for 3 years.
exactly.
To be ready to say, okay, I'm ready to share my life again with someone.
And then you were married for a long time. Too.
Yeah.
What about your kids? Was that a problem with them? It was not a problem.
My daughters, they wanted me to be happy. So
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
never let my kids meet somebody that I was just casually dating. My front door was not a revolving door. So my daughters never met anybody unless we were in a serious, committed relationship for the long haul. But they were supportive, and I was grateful for that. What I have heard is that some single moms that have sons, sometimes the sons have a little bit of a problem with their mom dating. But I wasn't lucky enough to have a son, so I wouldn't know.
What about
Jen?
you,
You
Joanne?
have 2 daughters?
My daughters are very happy. They're happy
Right.
that
You have
I'm
2
happy.
daughters?
I have 2 daughters, yes.
Right.
What
See,
about
yeah,
the
so-
other side? What about the kids on the other side of the equation? What happened there?
Oh,
Well,
my.
that was
Go
the
ahead,
other thing,
Sterling.
is that I wanted to make sure that they were good kids too, because my kids are very nice. Joanne knows my daughters. They used to go to her nursery school. I've known for 30 years, and now my grandchildren go to her nursery school. But it was very important that his kids were respectful as well, because I have really great kids, no problems, not with drugs and crime and stuff like that. So
Right.
I wanted kids that were about the same caliber as mine. You always have to have your deal breakers. You have to have your top priority. I wanted somebody that was within a certain age or certain height.
Right.
I like that. I didn't like men that were shorter than me because I like to wear heels. But I also wanted somebody that had kids. That's the other thing. I wouldn't even go out on a date with somebody that didn't have children, because I did in the past, and it's strange. I found myself not talking about my kids because they didn't have any. And a lot of people, I felt some of them were like a little bit more self-centered because they don't know what it feels to give of yourself to your kids. So I decided early on, I was only going to date people that had children. And hopefully they had children about the same age as mine, which my husband is 4 years older than me, and our kids are all the same age, which works out great. So that was a deal breaker for me. If they didn't have kids, I wasn't really interested in dating them at all. Or if I on the phone, I heard a lot of drama with the ex and this and that, that was another red flag. I'm not into the drama. I'm not interested. I'd rather just be by myself than, have to deal with someone else's aggravation.
So Sue said she focused on herself before dating. She finished college. She started working as a occupational therapy assistant, and it took 3 years.
Wonderful. Perfect.
Yep. So that's
Joanne,
good
how did
advice
you
too.
meet John? You knew John from work many years ago?
Yeah, I lived in Poughkeepsie for a while, and we
Mhm.
all worked in the same bank, and we were all friends. There was like a group of 6 or 7 of us.
And you
So
reconnected, was it through Facebook?
no, it was. I'm always remained friends with my one friend Mary,
Right.
and after it was one Christmas. After Christmas, I had gone up to visit her, and John happened to call her because he's really good friends with her. She's
Mhm.
married. She's been married for a long time. Um, and she said, "Oh, Joanne's here. Do you want to say hi?" And that's really how it started. And then he said that he was coming to Long Island because he lives in South Carolina. He was coming to Long Island and that he wanted to come and see me because he has a son that lives here on Long Island. And his
And
son is the same age as one of my daughters.
and
So
he didn't know that your husband had passed,
he
right?
didn't know my husband had passed.
Right. He knew of him though. He knew about him. He knew
Yes.
him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they had met. So,
Mhm.
but, and then, like I said, he came, he visited me, and he asked me where Joe was. And I said, John, I said, I thought Mary told you, Joe died 3 years ago. So it was a little over 3 years ago. So he felt terrible. We talked for a while. And then he left that night and he said, Is it all right if I call you again? I said, Yeah, that would be fine. And then he would call and call. And then, like a few weeks later, he came back to see his son and he came to see me. And it was so funny because our first official date, we went out to lunch with his son and his daughter in law.
That's hysterical. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
That's
but
good. So
yeah.
what happened with his wife or ex-wife or
He
whatever?
had been divorced about 15 years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Lori
Lori.
says she loves hearing stories about people reconnecting.
Mm.
Yeah, so that is cool that you knew each other for a long time and
Right, and that made the situation easy for me too because I knew him.
yeah,
For
yeah.
years.
I hear a lot
Yeah.
of people reconnecting sometimes on high school reunions or like on Facebook.
Hmm.
On
Yeah.
Facebook, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
Some affairs start on Facebook too, I've heard.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
So what's your plans for your wedding, Joanne? Tell us.
I'm getting married June 23rd at Danford's. And I'm going to live happily ever after that.
how many people are you inviting?
Only about 75. Yeah.
Only 75?
Yeah, that's
I have
almost
a withholding.
my immediate family,
Oh my
Lily.
God, you have a big immediate family. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
My wedding was at the View restaurant
oh, I love
in
that place.
Oakdale.
I
So
love
my
Nice.
wedding was there. We had around 50 people, and it was perfect because we didn't pay like a wedding price. We had like a dinner price.
right.
The
Hmm.
manager, there was a doll. He gave us a private room for the ceremony. Then he gave us the whole end of the restaurant by the water just for our dinner, our
Nice.
table set up. It almost felt like a wedding, but we didn't pay the
Right.
wedding price. So it was
Yeah.
awesome. And it
Oh,
was a
that's
nice
nice.
day. We went outside and took pictures outside. And my kids were involved in my wedding. So this is what happened. Two of my daughters read, they read readings. They had readings. Two of my daughters read readings. His daughter read a reading. His son was his best man. My other daughter walked me down the aisle. And the fourth daughter, oh my God, what did she do?
She was a flower girl.
Oh, well, no, my granddaughter was my flower girl.
Hmm.
So, but it was wonderful. So all the kids were involved, in the wedding.
Yeah.
What makes it different? Is it different dating now that it was years ago? Do you feel the same or it's like different?
Well, I married my high school sweetheart, so I don't know about that because I was 16 when I met my first husband. So I didn't
Okay.
really date. So Joanne, what about you? How old were you?
Yeah.
I got married when I was 21. That's when my
Yeah.
kids, I'm 59. And my kids are 25 to 35. So I had my kids pretty young in my 20s.
Mm.
But
How
it
old
was
when you got
well,
married,
yeah.
Joanne?
Well, I was married before I was married to Joe, and that
Mhm.
marriage ended with divorce. But I was married when I was 19.
You were 19. All right. So the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
What
did you
make it
meet your
different
second
from
husband?
your husband
How'd you
to
meet
the new
Joe?
one?
What?
How did you meet Joe?
Joe was my sister's husband's best friend.
Oh,
Oh.
So but
yeah.
And
that's
how old were you when you were dating him?
when I was dating. Oh, I was uh in my late 30s.
Okay. Is it different now from the late 30s?
Um,
No, honestly, I guess a little bit, but not really. Still have the same, it's still fun, it's still exciting.
well, I was dating over a 10-year period, and I can tell you that sometimes I saw the same people online 10 years later. Well, guess what? I was one of them, but it was like sometimes you see the same people online. You do.
Hmm.
What are the best places to find love after 55?
The frozen food section.
No kidding. Really?
At the meat
Why?
section at the supermarket.
I've heard so many people say that though, but I laugh. I don't really know. Honestly, I don't really know.
Hey, don't laugh. I go to ShopRite and Hop Hog over here, and for 2 weeks in a row, the same man has been hanging around by the meat section, and he talks to everybody. So he said, "Oh, starts talking about whatever was on sale, or he was looking for a shell steak or something. I don't know." And then he goes on to say, my wife passed away. I'm on my own, and blah blah blah. And then I see him. Keep going in the store. I see him down the aisles talking to every person in the store. I go back the next week. He's in there talking to every person in the store. So I think that's his thing. He's meeting girls
Sounds
in the
lonely.
ShopRite.
Maybe he'll find one.
Yeah, maybe.
I
Tell
will.
him, sorry, I'm taken.
Well,
I'm always in a rush, so I don't have time
yeah,
to
it's
talk
like,
to him.
get out of our way. So also there are some groups, singles groups, Long Island single groups, where they would have like events. They would get together and have like a dance at a disco at a club, dancing and things like that. So I did that a couple times. I did speed dating a couple times. Didn't really like that because with speed dating, you're not really filtering. You can meet people from different from 10-15 year gap and live all over the place. So I didn't like the speed dating. I tried the speed dating, but the singles groups were good. But there's not a lot of men in the single groups. Usually there's probably about, I would say 90% women and like 10% men if you're lucky. So there definitely are more women out there than men. There are.
I was
So
going to make that next question. Is it more women or men?
absolutely more women.
Yeah.
I would say 3-1 at least.
Men die first, or what happens?
Yeah, men, I guess men die younger.
Yeah.
They
Well,
die first.
I had belonged to a widows group for a while, and I still do. But and then we had like a core group of 8 or 9 of us because when we were going through the bereavement thing, it was during the pandemic. So we all did it all by Zoom, but we only had one man in our group,
Mhm.
and the rest were all women.
Where is that group? Because I belong to a widowers.
It's Long Island Widows. It's Kathleen. I can't think of her name right now.
Where is it? Where is it located?
Um, it's out of a church in I think Deer Park or Huntington.
Oh, okay.
Because again, most of it was always done by Zoom. But you know what? Christ the King now has a widows group.
Mhm.
Christ the King in Comac.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I belonged to a widowers singles group in Port Jeff, but there was like one man in it. That was it. And it was over 60.
Yeah.
I had joined when they were 55. The minimum age was 55, and then they changed it to 60. So I'm like the youngest one in the group now. Because people say, how old are you? How old are you? I'm like, I'm 59.
You're the baby.
Yeah. So trying to do some social groups is good.
Yeah.
Social groups online through friends, of course, is always best. I'm always trying to find the people. Like I have an attorney. I'm trying to find him a woman. He's 52. He has three children, nice kids, and he's one of my attorneys. And he's a good-looking guy. So I'm always trying to find somebody for him because he loves me and Danny. He knows Danny too, and he thinks we're so cute together. So his wish
send
is to
your
find
applications to Lily.
yes,
Send applications to Lily.
and it's also sad, but I also see like young people like in their mid 30s, late 30s, they still like A girl in my office, she turned 40, and I won't say her name, and she had her eggs frozen because she's still hoping that she'll meet someone, but she doesn't want to be not able to have children. So that makes me sad is when I see young people that are having hard to find someone.
I'm trying to talk Kelly into coming on camera.
Who?
Kelly's not available.
Yeah, what about
she
Kelly?
said that's okay.
Why isn't she here?
She said she met her partner at our class reunion. We were 48.
Oh, she doesn't count then. She has to be 55.
You have to be over 55 for this group, Kelly. Sorry.
Isn't she over 55?
Well, she might be now.
Yes, she is now. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that was a year ago. What are you talking about?
What?
She met the partner a year ago.
Oh, she says we're over 55 now.
Okay.
Maybe you can join.
Ladies, I want to thank you for inviting me, but I'm at my daughter's because she's not feeling that great, and my one granddaughter's in there screaming. So,
okay.
Thank you so much. And I mean, if I can help at all, please feel free to call me again.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, you have to tell us about. She went to the city and she went to Kleinfeld's. She got her wedding dress.
And I said yes to the dress. Randy happened to be there, so it was really fun because I was, I had paid to have like a private thing because I didn't want to be out there with all those young people. And he came into like the private room and he talked to me for a while. And he actually, when I did find my dress, they went and got him and they made him ask me if it was my dress. It was really cute. So
yes,
I filmed it, but I'm not showing anybody. I'm not showing anybody until after I'm married because I'm in the dress. So
of course,
yeah. But yes, so I did get my dress.
So that's fun.
So, yes, it was a lot of fun.
So I'm sorry. I thought that was so cute.
Doesn't matter how old you are because ladies, I'm going to be 70 in 2 weeks. It doesn't matter
what?
how old you are.
What? Really?
Yes.
I thought you were younger than that.
A lot of people do.
You look awesome.
You know what it is, Lily? It's those kids. They keep me young.
Those damn kids. No, but you know what it is? You're young inside. You're young inside. And outside you're beautiful, but inside you're young as well. So stay young.
That's will, key. Lily.
Stay young. Thank you, Joanne.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Joanne. Take care.
Okay, take care.
Anybody have questions? We have lots of people on here. Lucy, Jacqueline.
No, I have questions, Lily.
Oh, you always have questions.
Tell me.
Yes.
What is, I don't want to be disrespectful, but what is.
No, listen, you can ask me anything. Seriously. Anybody can ask me anything. I'll answer it.
What is the thing to like prepare a wedding after the common age of getting married? Is it weird? Does you get nasty comments?
It feels like it's exciting. It's fun. I mean, I had a wedding gown, but it wasn't fancy. I had a very plain, lacy wedding gown, and we were going to have a smaller number of people. We didn't want to have the big, we didn't have the video, we'd have a photographer, but it was fun. But I wanted something very small and intimate where our families were involved.
Because I have a friend. I was 20 something back then. And she was 50 and she was getting married for the first time.
How old was she?
She was 50.
50 getting married for the first time. Wow.
Getting married for the first time. He was 50 getting married for the first time.
Wow.
So she went, shopping and stuff. And everybody was asking, oh, are you the mom? Are you the mom? Where is the bride? And she was like, well, I'm the bride.
So no, that's insulting. That's not
for
nice.
her was like, a little uncomfortable. That's why I'm asking. It was uncomfortable. It was weird that you.
I went to bridal salons. I had no problem at all. I mean, people were really nice, and I was older than her, so no. You can make it as special, as plain as you want, as special. You shouldn't feel anything different because it's your day, and you should have exactly what you want. I knew, like, I had a vision in my mind for our wedding, and I called a few places, and though I wanted to be on the water. I love the water. I think it's so pretty. So I just narrowed it down. I called a few places, got prices, dates. And when I talked to the manager of the View, he was such a doll. I'm like, okay, that's it. We went there. We went to dinner. Gave the deposit. He just made it easy. Like, you just know. Just like when you just know it's the right person or it's the right dress, it's the right venue. You just know.
Okay. Give us tips for people after 55 that want to start.
Oh, somebody was... Oh, my
dating.
daughter was just banging on my window. Okay, give me a heart attack. Sorry, I'm sorry. What was the question? What was the question?
Give us tips about people that wants to start dating after 55. What they should start doing.
Well, if you want, put it out there. Let people know that you are interested in meeting someone, because it might be a friend, a neighbor that might know someone that's also would like to meet someone. Could be a blind date. Why not? It's not going to kill you. Just meet somebody for the first time and see if you like each other. So put it out there. Do what you love to do. Do your activities that you love to do. Go to a book club. Go to tennis. Whatever you like to do. Maybe you meet somebody that way. But be out there. Be open. Be friendly. Be positive. Don't be grumpy and jaded. Like I had reason to be a man hater. My husband, he had an affair. He cheated on me. But I said, well, that's his issue. That's his problem. So don't carry your baggage around, because that's a huge turnoff. Like when I met someone and they were talking about their ex and trashing them, that's it. I'm not seeing you again. And sometimes I would meet someone, and on the first date, I wasn't sure if I wanted to see them again. So I would see them a second time, and then I would know better. Okay, that's it. One guy, I found out he was actually an alcoholic at our second date. He was like drinking like crazy, and it was just not comfortable for me. So just go with your gut. Be careful. Always meet the first time in a public place. If you want, give the information of where you're going to be to a loved one so they know where you are, if you want extra safety. But I didn't really, I have to tell you, I never had a really bad experience. I really haven't.
Yeah, Susan says, be smart and safe when dating online, which is exactly what you said. Yeah.
There's a lot of scammers. Be careful. And like I said, talk to them right away and meet them right away to make sure that they're real, because I don't have time to waste. And a lot of people are out there just playing games.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a numbers game. Right before COVID, I was going on 2 to 3 dates a week. I was very busy. So it was fun, but also there would be the annoying dates when you met someone and it was a bad date, and you go home, and I would go to 7-Eleven, get a pint of Haagen-Dazs, and that was my date for the night. I would go home and get a 7-Eleven Haagen-Dazs. So those days are over. Now I have my Haagen-Dazs with my honey at home. So
very good. Very good. Anybody have questions?
Anything we're missing?
Yeah, I don't see any questions. Anybody want to come on camera and tell us their story?
Yeah, I'd love to hear someone else's story.
We have
we have a few minutes.
We have a few minutes. We have Lucy's watching, Jacqueline's watching, Donna's watching, Lori's watching.
Kelly is watching.
Joanne,
tell her
Maureen. Yeah. So anyway, we'd love to hear your stories, and I'm so happy for the both of you that you found love, and that's fun. It's fun.
No, it is fun, because life doesn't have to be over. Like if you meet the right person, it's worth going for it. It really is. The wrong person, on the other hand, is not worth it. So stay alone until you're with the right person. You're better off because you know where you stand.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. So
Denise?
next week we are off. Yes, because I'm traveling. It's my fault. So we're not going to have a show next week, but we will resume on March 1st. And our guest for March 1st is Susan, and she is an end-of-life doula.
Wow. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so she's going to talk about, she does a legacy book with people also, besides end-of-life doulas. They help you plan for your end of life. Make sure that you have all your documents in place, that everybody knows what you want for your arrangements or for your care at your end of life. So it's an interesting subject, but she also does something called the legacy, which is getting all your information down so that you pass it on, so that your family, knows the family history and can keep that. So anyway, so she's going to be on in 2 weeks, which will be interesting. And then we have, for our last show, is going to be Nicole Christensen from Care Answered, and she's going to talk about, I'm not sure. We're coming up with the subject, but
We'll know by March 1st.
we'll know. Yeah, we'll know by next week. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks from now. So yeah, so look forward to seeing you guys. We have an event coming up at Sunrise Senior Living on March 8th, a senior real estate luncheon. If anybody would like to join us, we will be out at Sunrise Senior Living in East Setauket on March 8th. And then we're going to be back at the Brightview in Sayville in April. But just keeping you up to date. So sometime in the middle of March, we hope to have a happy hour and get everybody all together.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you all for coming on our show and joining us. And that's it.
That's it. Follow us.
Awesome.
See us.
Thank you,
Subscribe
ladies.
to
It's
the
been a
channel.
pleasure.
Yes, don't forget, everyone. The best thing for us is that you like and comment on our stuff so that it gains us visibility and helps us out. We appreciate it. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Susan.
And
How about
Lily,
you?
where they can find you. Very
And
quick
I
before
put
we
my
go.
phone number up. If anybody has any questions, they'd like to call or text me, I'd be happy to talk to you. My number is 631-455-9459. My name is Lily McHarry. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. And that's my story.
Well,
Jean loves your glass. Jean loves your glasses, Sandra.
Thank you, Jean. I cannot see you, but thank you. I don't see anything with these glasses. Happy Valentine's again, everybody. Find me on Facebook. Find me everywhere at Sandra Roman Real Estate. And see you. Oh, yes, Kelly, but they're mine. See you next week.
2 weeks.
Besitos, bye.
Yes.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Never
2
mind.
weeks.
2 weeks. Bye.
Bye. Good night.